Welcome to Prime Time. Today we're going to do a demo on the Primenet time and attendance software. The first thing we notice after we log in is our dashboard. Our dashboard is very informative and takes the old-fashioned place of having to run reports to get your data and consolidates it in one spot. So with the dashboard, I can see how many missing punches I have, who's not in, which departments they're not in, any pending time off requests I have, and my scheduled absences. On my status board, I can see who's in and who's not. I can see by department. I can sort it by department or choose a specific department to view the employees in. I can show only the people that are clocked in, only the people that are out, or everyone. I can sort it by ins, outs. I can sort it by how many hours employees have before they reach overtime. In amber, I can see that Irvin has got 3.5 hours left before he gets into overtime. The black turns to amber when they go under 10 hours left before reaching overtime. It turns into a bold red once they do reach the overtime threshold. Any overtime they've received will appear in the overtime column in bold red also to make it easy to see. The number of hours they've worked in the pay period so far shows up under period hours. The date and time of their last punch, a contact number if one has been entered in for them, and their manager. The last widget down here on the bottom is scheduled hours versus actual hours worked. And I can see for this week I've got 547 scheduled, but only 80.034 actually worked. I can see this going along in a trending fashion so that I can look back on where we've worked, how many hours have put in, where my high labor usage is, where my low labor usage is, to be able to better calculate for the future. Now these widgets up here are interactive, so if I click on the widget, I can see these two people. Between them have 7 missing punches. If I click over here on the shop, so Tony in the shop department has a PTO request. Larry, Grace, and Jim, between them, have 8. I can see that Jacob is out on personal time today. I'm sorry, Jacob's out on sick. It looks like he's out on both. Nope. Michael is out on sick today. It helps if I click on the right spot. Now, if I need to go in any further and maybe fix missing punches, I can just click on an employee's name, and this is going to take me right into my exceptions tab. And in here, like the dashboard, are only the employees that I have access to. I can come down here, and Grace has a clock in on the 30th at 5:58 p.m. We notice we've got a pick here and then coordinates over here. If I click right here, it's going to show me a picture that was taken when they were clocked in. I click over here, it's going to show me where they were when they did that clock. To fix this punch, I can just click right here on their date out. And I'm going to be presented with their time card for that week. So I can see they worked on this day, they worked over here, but they've been absent the other days. This may give me an idea of the time I need to put out for their timeout. But I'm just going to click on here and we'll choose 10 p.m. I can add a note if I want and save. That takes her missing punch off here. I can go ahead and work on the next person. My PTO requests, I can see the person that requested time off, the day of the week, the date, whether it's all day or starts at a specific time, the bank, if that bank allows negative hours, the number of hours the employee wants to deduct, the number of hours they have left in their bank, the date and time of their request in case I get 2 people requesting the same day off and I have to make a choice. I can make it by who asked for the day off first. Moving down, I can see my resolved PTOs. And if someone were to come to me and say, hey, I really don't need this day off after all, I can revert it. That brings it back up here. I can either deny it or the employee can go in on their portal and delete the request. If I need to see if I can give someone the day off, maybe we've got the 12th of November here, I can go ahead and click on View PTOs and Calendar. I'm in November, and I can see on the 12th I have not given anyone the day off. When their names are listed in here on the calendar, they've already been approved for time off. Can go through to December to take a look and see if anybody has any time, and so far in December nobody's requested and been allowed to have time off. When looking through a timesheet, timesheets are color coded to be able to easily spot where there may be issues. Here I can see my green for the paid time off. I can see in the magenta overlapping time. This person clocked in from 8 to 5, but somebody also gave them a punch from 4 to 6. That gives that 4 to 5 being paid twice. So here I can either resolve it and fix it, or I can go ahead and just leave it and it'll be paid as is. I can see down here the work hours. I can see this day was split up into 3 different pieces. If I need to do that, I can click on my assign and redistribute, and maybe 4 hours in janitorial and the other 4.5 in supply, and I can save that, reassign correctly, and now I can see the day broke up into 2 parts and being able to put through on the different departments. I can see on my bonus right here the date and time is given the bonus. Absent is the teal, and down here I can see that I am currently clocked in. I can look at the picture of when it was clocked in, and since it was done from a mobile app, I can see the GPS location of where the person clocked in from. I can see my schedule if I need to. I can edit my schedule from here. I can see my pay period totals. I can see the totals by week. I can click Show Approvals, and I can see here there's 4 levels of approvals: employee, supervisor, manager, and admin, that can be approved for this employee. If the employee did have an approval, it would go from pending and would show me that it was approved. If I need to print a timesheet, I can click Print Timesheet. It gives me his time here. Go to page 2. I see the signature line here, and I can go ahead and print this off, or I could save it as, say, a PDF file and save it to my computer. The reports, we can come over here and click on a report. I'll choose the default timesheet, and I can see right here I've got a customized report or admin time cards. When I just click on the default timesheet proper, that's going to bring up my options that I can choose when I run this report. As I scroll down, I see the options down here. Maybe I want to see the PTO totals, missed punches, page break by employee, the employee verification. Maybe I want to see dollar amounts, maybe notes. And I can go ahead, and if I wanted to, I could save this and be able to come back and run it with these options each time. We'll click on Generate Report here, and then this will bring up the report with the options that we've selected and the time the employee has in. Go to the next page, see all their totals, a signature block, which can be customized per company, and a signature line for the employee. Once your payroll is complete, you can then go in and close your pay period and submit the time into payroll. So when we come over here, we can click Close, and now the pay period is closed. It is submitted to the paycheck side of the software, the payroll, and it cannot be changed in the software. Nobody can go behind you and change any of the punches or add anything or remove anything. One of the other nice thing in here for the supervisors and employees is the approvals area. I can quickly go through and scan how many hours my employees have, how much overtime they have, and who's approved their time card and who hasn't. And from here, I could click here and sign off to approve all these employees as the admin, or maybe just pick and choose employees to go ahead and sign off for. This is going to let the supervisors know that I've signed off on these time cards, and this blocks any edits from being done to the time card. In order to edit a time card, I would have to go in and revert my approval, and then once the edits have been made to the time card, I would have to go back in and reapprove it. Our software also comes with notifications, and we can go in and set up the notifications, missing punches, who to notify, PTO requests, whether they've been approved or denied, whether they go to supervisor or back to the employee, if it's been deleted or maybe denied, time card, whether they've been approved, not approved, whether the managers approved it, and so forth. We can decide who gets notified. We can set up our email to schedule and be sent at a specific start time, ending at a specific time, and how often to repeat that report. We can also go in and make up notifications for approvals. So in this particular one, Monday through Friday, one day after the pay period ends, we want to send out an email to the employee and to the supervisors, an email to the administrator that they have unsubmitted timesheets in the employee, so the administrator knows a day after the pay period closed that they still have missing punches. And we can go in and set these up to notify differently. We can notify the employee, have it come through and notify the manager, the supervisor. How many days after the pay period ends, the particular time we want the report to go out. So we've got a lot of flexibility as far as the notifications. One of the newer things we've also just added is SMS notifications. So if you enter the phone number in of your supervisor or manager, then they will be able to be notified via text message that they have pending notifications and things that need to be taken care of within the software. That way, if they're not around their email, they can at least stay up to date with what's going on, and that they've got requests or reports or something for them ready. Our software is also able to handle a variety of different things: automatic lunches, holiday groups, if you've got more than one type of employee, or maybe different employees get different hours or different holidays off. Rate matrix, which means we can go in and assign a specific rate to a specific department. Rounding policies. Level hierarchy, which determines which department an employee can see when they have to change departments from their employee portal. Comp time history, comp plans, shift differentials if you pay employees a little bit extra to work odd hours, and of course our schedule templates. We have our PTO plans, which will cover accruals for anything you have: sick, PTO, vacation. Our accruals can be done hourly, X amount per hour, or X amount per pay period, X amount per month, or X amount annually. Our module in here allows us to go in and set up policies of what the employees can and cannot see in the e-time clock employee portal. Our biometric templates coming from the time clocks. Questions, if we have to have the clocks present questions when the employees are clocking in or out. Our automated reports, when we want to set up a report such as approaching overtime, to email out, say, every Thursday at 3 p.m. to the managers. and then being able to configure our SMS carriers in here. Now that we've spent time talking about the actual application for the supervisors and management, let's go take a look at the employee portal. So here I am logged in as Larry Nelson, and I can see the announcement that's up here. This can be changed whenever the administrator or whoever's been given access to be able to do so. Things like paychecks will be out Monday, or we need W-2s in by Tuesday, or Larry's birthday is tomorrow. Whatever you want to use the announcement area for, you're certainly able to. I can see that I am logged into the portal successfully. Over here, I can see my status is in and the date and time that I clocked in. I've got my start button and my end button, clock out, clock in, clock out. I can go to lunch, come back from lunch, go to break, end break, or switch departments. Now, any or all of these buttons could be removed if you only want the employee to have a read-only type experience with the employee portal. Maybe you just want them to be able to view their timesheets and approve them. Or maybe you just want them to be able to view their timesheets and look at their PTO balance. These other things can be taken off of here through the policy, so when they log in, they're only seeing the items that you want them to have access to. In this person, I can see that he has missing punches, and I can click on where it says I have missing punches, and this brings up a report, and it shows me my time card, and I can see right here, this is the day I've got a missing punch. I'm missing an out punch for the 28th. I can then notify my supervisor that I forgot to punch, and they can go in to the application side and put that missing punch in for me. I can view my schedule that's been set up for me. I can view my PTO bank balances. I can request time off. I can view my timesheets and take a look at the totals that I have for the current timesheet as well as prior timesheets. Go up and select a different timesheet here. I can see where I've worked. This is just my quick view. It shows me my hours, my totals down here. But if I wanted a better breakdown, I could click on Print Timesheet, and this is going to come in and give me the specifics for each day. I could then print this off if I wanted or had access to a printer from this PC, or I could save this to my PC. I can also approve this time card. I click here. I can go ahead and accept what's been typed up here for me, an attestation block, and that would approve this time card. Clocking in, this particular person's set to be able to change his department when he clocks in. When I click Start, I can come down and choose the department and click OK. And I can then go ahead and put in a note. And click OK, and that clocks me in again right now as of 3/18. Primenet also uses a mobile app for its employees to be able to clock in and out of. And if we look here, simulated for a tablet, the employee can clock in, out, and go to lunch, or have breaks in here. The lunch feature or clock in and out can be removed depending on the policy that's set up in the admin side. There's other functions that they can do from the mobile app as well. They can view their timesheet, look at previous pay periods, be able to see their totals for the pay periods. We can look at our PTO balances, vacation, personal, sick. I can request time off from the mobile app. And I can see my PTO history. what's been approved, what's been denied, and maybe what I still have out there is pending. Primetime also has hardware to offer. And if we look here, we've got several options for the US 10C, Prox, barcode, magstripe, or fingerprint. The hand punch GT400, the portable clock, and the office clock. All of these clocks have the ability to push the data in real time. So when an employee clocks in, it goes straight to the database.